Lulaloopseys, originally released as Bitty Buttons in 2010, quickly grew in popularity as little kids discovered the magic that was Lulaloopseys. Starting as just 8 13-inch dolls, this small set of dolls quickly turned into something so much bigger, each with their very own story to tell. When the brand launched as Bitty Buttons, their goal was to teach kids that everyone is special in their own way. But the new brand encourages the idea that old things can become new again, teaching creativity, individuality, and the mentality that everything can have a second life. The original and probably most recognizable dolls, Crumb Sugar Cookie, Jewel Sparkles, Peanut Big Top, Bee Spells a Lot, Mittens Fluff and Stuff, Dot Starlight, Pillow Featherbed, and Spot Splitter Splash were received really well and even won the Large Doll category for People's Play Awards. What started off as something so small quickly spun into something huge and so deeply cherished by many young kids, including myself. 180 different and unique characters, 10 different TV shows / spin-offs, a whole separate line of dolls, ponies, you name it, Lalaloopsy had it all. It makes me really sad that kids today will never be able to experience the magic and joy that I felt when I would walk into my local Walmart, into the toy section, and see the rows and rows of Lalaloopsys. I was always looking for new ones to add to my ever-growing collection, playing the DS game when I got home from school, watching the show on Nickelodeon. Where did it all go? That is what I'm going to be looking into today, along with redesigning or just drawing a couple of the characters in my style to share the magic with you all. I've been feeling very sentimental lately, trying to cling on to the last bits of my childhood that I have left. Because at one point I had almost all of them, if not all of these dolls, and I was obsessed. I'm still in love with them to this day, and I even still have a few. Before we get started, I would just like to say if you enjoy this kind of content, you should maybe consider subscribing because I definitely will be making more stuff like this in the future. Anyways, let's get into the video. Ooh, and just one more other thing before I get into it. I would just like to say this is not so much a deep dive as it is more just me talking about the design and what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Lulaloopsy here on YouTube has a great deep dive going over all of the lore. So if you want an actual deep dive, I highly recommend going and watching their video. It will be linked in the description. Now moving on to the actual designing part of this video. First off, I'm starting with Crumb Sugar Cookie. Like I mentioned earlier, she is one of the original 8 dolls, and she is probably one of the first dolls that I ever got. The sketching process was pretty easy for her. I found this stock image of this lady baking on Pinterest, and I thought it was perfect because Crumb is a baker, hence her name, Crumb Sugar Cookie. She is super sweet. She was sewn from a baker's apron on December 4th, and she has this adorable little pet mouse, which I did not include in the drawing. I'm sorry. I didn't know what style I would do him in, so I just didn't draw him at all. I almost immediately knew what I wanted to do for her style and her hair because I have always envisioned her to have short hair. And I know you're probably asking, Echo, why didn't you just draw the hair that the doll had? That's because about 40 other dolls have this exact same hair mold, just in different colors. And I don't know, hair gives it a lot of personality. You know, hair can really set the vibe and the scene and the occupation. So I decided to take some creative liberties and I did her hair in this really cute short style. And I also feel that it kind of fits in with her story that, you know, she's a baker. Maybe she doesn't want to have her hair super long so it doesn't get in her way, you know, just creating a narrative, a story. And I'm really happy with it. Instead of having the big fluffy dress skirt that she normally has, I decided to go for a more sleek kind of baker's apron dress thing. Because I'm a baker, you know, she's probably moving around a lot, moving her arms and, you know, walking around and, you know, being like opening the oven and stuff. So I didn't want anything that's going to be big and in the way that, you know, interrupts her baking. So I cut down on the fabric and just had this really cute dress that is still very much like the apron style. Now I'm starting the coloring. I absolutely adore her color scheme, so I really wanted to keep the pink and yellow since they go so well together. I did adjust them just a tad to make them a bit more vibrant. I was color picking directly from the reference picture, but it was just not working, so I adjusted it a little bit to look a bit better. At first, I really was not gonna do the pink hair. Like, you can see me going in with black, but then I changed it because I asked my mom and she was like, you gotta keep the pink hair, it's iconic. And I was like, okay. And I definitely think it was a good idea to keep the pink hair. It definitely, like, she's more recognizable now, and I'm very happy with that decision. And here is the final drawing. I went and added her little black bow because my mom said I should add that. I definitely agree. It really pulls it together. Let me know what you think about this design in the comments. And now let's move on to the next design. Next up is Blossom Flower Pot, and this is my quote-unquote first attempt, but not really because there's like 3 different attempts in this time lapse. She was a struggle, to say the least. You can see me do like 3 different poses that I try to do. It just wasn't working. I even tried to trace over the pose so I could get the anatomy right, and it just was not working. So I ended up scrapping this idea because I don't know, it looked like I couldn't draw. I was a baby. I didn't know what I was doing. So I try a different pose, which is this one right here. I don't show the reference image for this one, but it's just like a lady holding like a little pot with some tomatoes in it. I thought it was really cute, and I really wanted to do that pose, but again, something was just off with it, specifically her head. I thought it was too big, so I made it smaller. I thought it was too small, so I made it bigger. I thought her hair was too big, so I made her hair smaller. It was just like a constant circle of problems that I was having, and I couldn't really figure out what was the issue exactly, so I ended up scrapping this one as well. While we watch this mess, I guess I will say a little bit about her. She is patient and cheerful, sewn from a gardener's glove on April 22nd. You probably could have guessed that. The gardener's glove thing, I thought that was so cute. Instead of doing the like dress, you'll see that I really wanted to do overalls, and overalls are in the final design, and I'm really happy with that choice. I feel like that really pushes the gardener. Oh my goodness, and I almost forgot to mention her pet, which is this adorable little butterfly that I once again did not include. I'm sorry, I kind of regret not including the pets, the mouse for Crumb and then the butterfly for Blossom, but I just really didn't know what kind of style I would do them in, and I also didn't want to do backgrounds or anything like that, so I just left them out. Maybe if I do this again, I will include pets. I think the reason I liked Blossom so much growing up was because we kind of look similar. Obviously, I didn't have pink hair, but like our skin tone is similar, and she has freckles, I have freckles. I don't know, I just thought she was really adorable. I even had a blanket of her. Well, I still have it, it's on my bed. That's how much I liked her. Now I'm starting on the attempt before the last one, and I was really liking this pose, but things just go horribly wrong when it gets to the coloring. Again, something was just like off with her head. I feel like maybe I was making the head too small. I still don't know how I would fix this. I was gonna use this version for the video and just leave it at that, but I was so incredibly unhappy with it that I was like, I gotta redraw something. And so literally the day before this is posted, I pumped out the final version of her, which you will see in just a minute. And here I am starting the last attempt at this, which I am really happy with. It's a complete style change. I don't really know how that happened. I think it's just because I really took my time with this and didn't try to rush it. I was having a lot of fun with playing around with the rendering and such. And here is the final design. Let me know what you guys think about it. I am really happy with the end result in this new style that I did. Now that both of these designs are done, let's talk about the whole point of this whole video. What happened to Lalaloopseys? Well, the answer is probably something you wouldn't have expected, but it's not anything exciting. They ran out of supplies. I know, really anticlimactic, and I made all of this build up for literally nothing. I was shocked too, because when I was initially going through this deep dive of where they went, I was so disappointed when I found out that that was the whole reason they left. Or not left, but stopped making dolls. And sure, they have rebooted the dolls a handful of times, but they just never came back like they did in, say, 2011 or 2012. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Lulaloopsy here on YouTube has a really great video about the whole lore. She does a way better job than I ever could, so please go check out their video on their channel, linked in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know. What do you think of my designs? And I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.